Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Open Door TOD Talks. I'm Pastor Jeff Williams. So excited about sharing just a quick word with you today. And today we're going to talk about the power to persevere. This is a series that we've been going through at our church, and just talking about what does it mean to persevere in our Christian walk and our relationship with God. And we just love to remind ourselves what Jesus said in the book of Mark. In the book of Mark, the 8th chapter, the 31st verse, here's what it says. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and the scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. So we hear Jesus teaching some pretty tough things there. The first thing that he says is that he's going to suffer. And then he says he's going to be rejected, and then he's going to be killed. And if we just fixate on those three things, that can seem to be pretty tough. It can be pretty hard to persevere going through those type of trials. But then he said something at the end of that verse. He said, and after 3 days rise again. And so he's reminding us that God has a resurrected plan for each and every one of us. That no matter what our situation looks like, no matter how much it may just seem like a tough trial that we're going through, that God has a plan to resurrect us from that. That whatever the devil means for our bad, God always turns it around for our good. And that we can trust him. And so Jesus went on to talk about us too in that same chapter. And so let me share that with you. In verse 34, he says this, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. And so he's speaking to our heart about, here's the thing that we're going to struggle with, denying ourselves. Because we may have some times of going through some hard situations, some afflictions, and we ask that question, well, why is this happening to me? And it's so easy to just want to grab hold to ourselves and say, well, this shouldn't happen to me. Let me protect myself. Let me watch out for myself. And Jesus said, hold on, don't do that. Because of the next verse. Listen to this. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. So when we try to save our own life in this world, we're actually holding on to this world and not really trusting in him and his finished plan and what Christ did for each and every one of us. When he died on the cross, when he paid the penalty for our sins so that we wouldn't have to. And so that we could spend eternity with God and we can rest in him. Look what the rest of that verse says. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. And so when we deny ourselves, when we allow ourselves to be persecuted, when we lose things in this world, Jesus reminds us that there's great gain, that we'll save it, that he has a plan for each and every one of us. I love what it says in Matthew about the teachings of God, to keep us focused and fixed on his very plan and what he has for us, and that it's going to give us that power to persevere. In Matthew, the 11th chapter, he says this. He says, take my yoke upon you. In other words, my teaching, the way I'm going to direct you and lead you and guide you. And learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. So he wants us to rest in the very fact that his teachings, his ways, are better than our ways. That he has a plan for us, that to bring us to glory, God's perfect righteousness, and for us to have victory in this world and in eternity. And so trust him today. Have his power to persevere. Don't trust in your own power. And I guarantee you'll be richly blessed. Be blessed today. Thank you for listening and look forward to seeing you at the open door.